Anyway, let's see where we are here. Oh, okay. So Herbert accomplished great things for the company, but he headed the company to destruction, ultimately. Why? Because he neglected his father's company, founded the Compo Company, you all know that. It was mainly founded to record Canadian artists that Emile was not that anxious to record. The curious thing is, he grabbed off the Decca franchise, which was imported product from the US, so he wasn't against importing masters and just banging them out on a press here. And at any rate, here's the Compo Company. It's moving along, and of course there's this tremendous conflict of interest. Grandpa, in 1921, confronted him with this. They had a knockout battle, and it really was. They had an argument, I think the last of many, it was not the first. And they came to blows. Herbert struck his father, knocked him down, and that ended the relationship. He was kicked out immediately. That was his last day there. He knew that was it. Probably he planned it, although I don't think he planned to strike his father, but he did know that he was going to have to leave. And so he did. Then your friend Ed Moak began, more recent, long after, a study of the Berliner Gramophone Company of Canada. And Moak says in his book, a lot of you have seen it, that a strange thing happened at the Berliner Gramophone Company in 1921. For some reason, totally unexplained, all of the executives of the company resigned, and the company was left without officers or directors. This is absolutely true, but the reason you now know is this. The company had been run into the ground by Herbert. It was so inefficient that the secretaries had secretaries. My father said that was absolutely the case. The secretaries had secretaries, totally unnecessary, and money was being wasted like mad, and Herbert didn't care. In fact, maybe he wanted to destroy the company so that Compo would dominate the industry. Most likely that was the case. And so, Ed Moak observes in his book that this crazy occurrence where everybody resigned and there's the company with no leadership. That was contrived, of course. It was done on purpose, and the statement was made to Emile: we are unable to save this company. We owe you royalty money, and so we resign. This was a contrived arrangement between Emile, Blount, Edgar, my father, who would succeed his older brother Herbert, and that was done so that the next day it could open up as the new Berliner Gramophone Company under new management. It was the same people except for Herbert. So that is the answer to Ed Moak's question as to how did that happen, why did it happen? it's really, that's it. That is it. Let's see where we are now. In 1921, Edgar, my father, took over, and he brilliantly succeeded in restoring the company to prosperity. In 1924, a wonderful thing happened, wonderful for my dad and for me and everybody else. Emile gave the company to my father, gave him the Berliner Gramophone Company. My father always joked that his father had cut him out of the will.
Yeah.
That was a joke. Herbert was cut out of the will, however. Oh yeah.
Yeah, big time.
And yeah, big time, right. And what did he do? He threatened his brothers and sisters that he would challenge the will in court if they did not give him his share. Question was, what was his share? What would it be? Well, I guess equal to the shares that his brothers and sisters were getting. This was in 1929 when Emile died. At any rate, he, under threat, Emile's children gave him a portion. They did not go to court. They did not rearrange the will, which they couldn't. They each of the 5 children, my father excluded, gave Herbert a share of their inheritance just to pacify him. They didn't want a battle. So that's how that worked. Oh yes, interesting thing, going back now, when Columbia Gramophone, owned by Alexander Graham Bell, sued the Berliner Gramophone Company for infringement on the Bell-Tainter, what the heck was it? Variable, oh Lord, I should know this. Well, Bell and Tainter, which was Chichester Bell, Alexander's cousin, and Charles Tainter had developed a method to solve a tremendous problem with Edison's phonograph, and that applied also to the Columbia Gramophone, which was the same instrument. And that is, they had to find a way where the feed screw, you could never drop the playback head into the groove properly under the feed screw system that Edison had developed. So with the Bell-Tainter invention, it didn't matter. You could move. It was the floating stylus. That's what it was, and you could properly position the playback stylus in the groove without any interference from the feed screw operation. So that was that saved the phonograph, by the way, because without it, the phonograph was suffering from difficulty in using it and difficulty in getting the needle in the start groove.